to take Adderall or to not take Adderall. That's the point of this video. I'm here to just share my story, to share what works for me. I'm 42. I've had ADHD my whole life, ever since I was itty bitty. It affected me at school, but I grew up in the 80s. It wasn't something like, hey, maybe we should get her checked out. Maybe she should get diagnosed. It was more like, maybe she's just not as bright as the rest. Or I was just ignored. School wasn't great for me. It wasn't an exciting time in my life. I'm happy I'm super far gone from it. Fast forward, I'm 40 years old, working from home like millions of us because of life circumstances. I'm here, which is great. I love working from home, but working from home means there's laundry, there's dishes, there's carpets that need to be vacuumed. And if you have ADHD, you'd rather do any of that stuff than to sit here at this desk doing the work you need to do. Now, over a year later, I can say, hey, I've taken Adderall. It's great. It's worked out in a lot of ways that I couldn't even imagine. But the biggest thing I realized is that it's not a fix-all. Like, yeah, I could focus, I could pay attention, but I could still only focus and pay attention to the things I want to focus and pay attention to. So I still struggle with sort of the starting and completing of something, especially if I don't want to do it. So I've had to learn how to do this. I've had to learn at 42 how to push myself through and do the things I don't want to do, which I have. I've also realized that Adderall has affected me in ways I don't like. The ways it's affected me, I'll weigh sort of the good things it's brought into my life, and I've had to make a decision, right? So the decision I've made is I don't take it every day. I'm an artist. I mean, not like world renowned. I'm not in museums, but it's something I've done since I was little. It's something I've always been good at. And when I've struggled in school, I've always had my art. And it's the one thing I was recognized for. But with Adderall, I don't want to draw. I have no desire to draw. And that was mind-blowing for me, to sit and attempt to draw something and I couldn't. And of course, I go to the trusty dusty Google and I'm trying to figure things out, and boom, lo and behold, drawing provided me with dopamine. I essentially created a coping mechanism for myself to get through life, and it worked really well. But now with Adderall, I don't need it, because Adderall gives me that dopamine. Adderall evens me out. Also, music. I love music. Every Friday in my house is karaoke Friday. Drives my wife insane. But I'll blast music all day, every day, and sing my little heart out. I'm on Adderall. I could sit in this office for hours with not a song, not a podcast, in complete silence. Now, granted, those days, they're nice. I'm not used to them. They're nice. I can appreciate them. But I miss music. I miss the excitement and the hype in my soul when I heard a good song. I miss not being able to control myself and just singing the song no matter where I was at. I also noticed on Adderall that I was still me, but I was like a shadow of myself. I was like a less bright version of myself. Yeah, I was calmer and all those things, but like I didn't just like break out in conversation. I wasn't just popping jokes. I wasn't just being silly and being fun. And that's a huge personality change for me. And it's something that was noticed by others, and it was noticed by me, because not only was it like a personality shift, like I felt different. Like I felt a difference in sort of life and my enjoyment for life, which I didn't like. When I realized that's the person I turned into, I was like, I miss it. I miss that version of me. I miss that person who just gets simple joys out of nothing. And I wasn't experiencing that. I was experiencing a new version of me, and the new version I didn't like. So essentially, my cons outweighed my pros. And I really had to figure out a way to make the system work for me. On top of all that, sort of my creative ideas, non-existent. Anyone knows me, I have an idea for this and that and everything. I can create a side hustle. So my cons outweigh my pros. I realized that I had no ideas for anything. Like I created a Table Talk LLC, and then it just lived in LLC line and went nowhere. And I was like, how did that happen? Like I was so determined to make Table Talk a thing and to make it my business and to move forward. I realized, my brain was just functioning differently. So I stopped taking Adderall, and the ideas came flooding back. I figured out what I need to do with my social media accounts. I created a plan for myself. Then I took Adderall to help me sort of execute that plan, because that's the part I struggle with when I'm not on Adderall, is the execution. It's the starting and moving forward with the plan. Once the plan's in motion, I'm good without the Adderall. I can keep it going, but it's that sort of tedious, mundane sort of process that my brain just is not a fan of. You know, and I think I missed the noise. I missed my internal chaos. I missed the company. It's hard to explain, but I missed just the excitement that I had for life. Now I just choose to take it on days that I need to take it. Days that I know I have a lot going on. Days where I'm juggling, sort of my multiple jobs and I got to make sure things are done. I'll take it. I don't take it every day. And I know there's people who do. There's people who like taking it every day and just being completely even and being super productive every day of the week. That's great for you. You know what I mean? But I don't need that level of production every day. Especially don't need it every day if I'm not going to be productive on the things that I want and need to be productive on. Do you know what I mean? So this works for me. May not work for you. At the end of the day, I became a dramatically different person. And I wasn't a huge fan of her. So I'm choosing to essentially to live in my truth. And if that means my truth is a little more chaotic than yours, then I'm okay with that because I like that version of me. That's my long 2 cents on this topic. Hopefully it resonates with you. Let me know if it does or doesn't. I'm open for a debate.